For real. It's Wednesday, and that means it's time for the news. I do have a bit of a non-COVID sniffle, so my apologies in advance for that. Today's ride is from New Year's Day, when we went out to the Angkor Archaeological Park to walk around a section of the Angkor Thom perimeter wall. Today's video is a bit of a milestone. It's our 300th on the channel. Whether you've been here since video 10 or video 299, we're very happy that you're here. Please subscribe if you haven't already. There's a little icon in the bottom right of the screen where you can do this. At For Real, we donate all of the money we earn from YouTube to charities in Cambodia. Here's the total we've donated so far. You help us to earn this money simply by watching our videos, so your time here on our channel directly benefits people in Cambodia. We did a live stream on New Year's Eve. Thank you to everyone who watched this either live or after the fact. It was good fun. Today is Wednesday, the 4th of January, and in this episode, we'll take a look at the circumstances surrounding the return of Chinese tourists. What does it mean for Cambodia? Do they pose a threat? Is Cambodia doing the right thing in terms of their entry? We've also got crime, moto madness, and 3 blokes with a huge weapon. Chinese authorities have eased almost all restrictions after 3 years of some of the strictest measures related to the pandemic. Does this mean good tidings for tourism in Cambodia as well as the world? Only time will tell. A strong wave of outbound travel from China will begin next week, possibly returning to pre-pandemic levels by 2024. Tourism has been one of the 3 pillars of the Cambodian economy, and the government has been striving to revive the sector since COVID-19 wreaked havoc. Tourism contributes to 11.5% of the country's GDP, which generates around $2.2 billion in revenue and employs roughly 780,000 people formally, and probably a lot more informally. Cambodia is expected to have around 2.2 million international visitors this year, compared to 7 million in 2019. In 2023, it is hoped there will be between 3 and 4 million international arrivals, which would be around half of the pre-pandemic levels. It's not just Cambodia waiting on the return of the Chinese, though. Before 2019, an average of 150 million Chinese travelled across the globe, spending up to $255 billion each year. Their absence has caused major economic and financial pain for several tourist destinations, plus the millions of people it helps to employ. Prime Minister Hun Sen has confirmed that the kingdom will not impose restrictions on travellers from China, contrary to some nations that have introduced mandatory testing, both pre- and post-arrival. Australia has joined the list of countries requiring negative tests from Chinese arrivals, but the government and health officials there are at odds about whether it's warranted or even beneficial in terms of limiting the spread of COVID. The true number of cases in China is extremely difficult to report on, and news outlets are saying numbers can be as low as 5,000 a day right up to 35 million a day, depending on what you read. The Prime Minister said despite the news China is experiencing an outbreak of COVID-19, the procedures for welcoming travellers to the kingdom will stay the same as for all travellers, and we will not impose any restrictions against the Chinese at all. Mr. Hun Sen said that the COVID-19 virus will continue to be part of everyday life in the coming days, and the country cannot lock itself out of fear. He said that the population is well protected due to high levels of vaccination, and additional precautions are not necessary. It will be very interesting to see what the numbers of Chinese tourists look like here in Siem Reap from Monday onwards. We'll definitely keep you posted on that. The Ministry of Tourism has released tourist numbers and places people have travelled during the New Year's break. Nationwide, there were 2,020,000 tourists, with less than 1% of those being foreigners. Major destinations for those tourists included Phnom Penh with 456,000 visitors, Sihanoukville with 339,000, Siem Reap with 338,000, Kampot 331,000, Battambang 158,000 and Kep with 88,000. Those figures show an increase of over 76% compared to the previous New Year. You might have heard about the tragic casino fire that occurred recently in Poipet. Rescuers have now finished searching the charred ruins of the complex, and the death toll is sitting at 27. Hundreds of people are believed to have been inside the Grand Diamond City venue, which is located in the northwestern town of Poipet, near the Thai border, when the blaze broke out. Grieving families said they were struggling to comprehend the scale of the disaster. Photos and video from the scene showed people huddling on windowsills to escape the flames, with many reports of people desperately jumping from the roof or windows on high floors to escape the fire. Many of the injured were taken to Thailand for treatment. Thai officials said that more than 56 had been hospitalised there and 12 were still in a critical condition. An initial investigation has found that the fire may have been caused by New Year's holiday decorations drawing too much electricity, causing wires to overheat and burn. In early January, Battambang provincial authorities will drain most of the Sankey River to clean up the river environment and rehabilitate the riverbanks. Local authorities and local people living in the 5 riverside districts are encouraged to participate in the operation. Battambang citizens have been asked to take care of cleanliness and not throw garbage in the river or in canals and lakes in order to improve the local image. The Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries plans to hold a competition next season to find the best fermented fish paste makers in the country. It is hoped the competition will help the fermented fish paste market become more widely recognised and benefit those who produce this delicacy to earn money and improve their lives. The competition will help makers find new markets and distribute their products to restaurants and shops across the country. Now to a different kind of catch, but still it ends up stinky. Thai border police have arrested 2 Cambodian men near the Thai-Cambodian border in Sa Kaeo province after they smuggled about 1.1 tonnes of pork worth about 137,000 baht or around 4,000 American dollars into Thailand. Acting on information received, a combined team of customs, livestock officials and border troops were dispatched to investigate. On approaching a shelter, they found 2 men about to transfer some bags which were found to contain frozen pork. Both were arrested and charged with smuggling banned meat into the country. All the meat has been buried in landfills to prevent the possible spread of African swine fever. The Consumer Protection and Fraud Repression General Department of the Ministry of Commerce burned 288 boxes of e-cigarettes, which is equivalent to 7,200 packs, that were found in a warehouse in Phnom Penh. E-cigarettes are definitely a gateway to harder drug stories. Cambodia saw a spike in both the number of people arrested and the amount of drugs seized last year compared to 2021. A report by the Anti-Drug Police Department stated that the authorities arrested 14,800 suspects over drug-related offences last year. That's up 7% from the year before, adding that 259 of the detainees last year were foreigners of 9 different nationalities. A total of 14.5 tonnes of all kinds of illicit drugs have been confiscated in 2022, and in 2021 only 4.43 tonnes were seized. It said that the seized narcotics last year included heroin, ecstasy, ketamine, cocaine, methamphetamine and cathinone. Here is another statistic that's on the rise. Traffic accidents remained the leading cause of death in Cambodia, claiming more than 1,700 lives in 2022, which is an increase of over 200 compared to the preceding year. According to the annual report on traffic accidents released by the National Police, 2022 saw 2,980 traffic accidents, which is an increase of 12% compared to 2021. Meanwhile, there were 1,709 fatalities this year and 4,026 injuries, which is also an increase from 2021. It's moto madness time. Truck versus road divider, who will win? The accident took place on the west end of the Chinese Embassy traffic light along the Mao Zedong Road in Phnom Penh. According to sources before the incident, a man was seen driving a white pickup truck along the road. It was travelling at high speed when it suddenly swerved and hit the divider. The truck ended up on top of the divider like a stranded turtle. Unfortunately, the driver was injured and was unconscious at the scene of the crash, but in good news, the divider did not crack under the pressure. Now we have an Only in Cambodia story for you. In breaking news, police have arrested 3 men after they attacked a drinks vendor with a variety of weapons, including an elaborate samurai sword. The incident took place on the 2nd of January in Tam Nak Tom village, Sankat Stung Mien Che 2 in Phnom Penh at around 6:30 p.m. I'll just put a photo of that sword right here. A spokesperson of the Phnom Penh Municipal Police stated that police had investigated the incident after it was posted on social media, and they arrested the 3 men for their part in the attack. In a good news story, the Phnom Penh Municipal Police mobile team has facilitated issuing of over 20,000 identity cards to people in villages in the 1 month since the campaign began. After processing, the mobile team will go to the villagers' houses to deliver the identity cards so they don't have to make a trip to the police station in Phnom Penh to pick them up. That brings us to the end of this week's news. You're now up to date with all of the most important events in the kingdom. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, have a great week, and we'll see you very soon.